Beyond the Gates. They are finding ways to ante up the drama in the most craziest way. So where do I start? So Andre, I told you his uncle already knew about him and Danny, and Danny finally tells Nicole, and Nicole is feeling some type of way, not just because this boy is young enough to be your son, but because you lied to me, because I asked you and you lied to me, and I'm tired of people lying to me. Speaking of Nicole turns around and approaches Ted about how they need to change certain things in their trust. Which, again, I told y'all, Beyond the Gates is good about exposing issues that we need to know about, exposing things that we need to do. And a trust is one of those things I talk about in one of my podcast episodes. If I can find the logo for it, I'll put it up in the episode number. But literally, you want to get a trust versus a will. It costs more money, but it's so much worth it. So she was talking to him about how they need to divide certain things up and how it works out. Finally, he says, hey, let me move back in. I don't have to live in the same. She's like, nah. Because she said, they didn't really deal with Eva and Leslie this week. They really didn't. So she wants to use a private firm to do a DNA test because the police is backlogged with the DNA test of other cases. And her lawyer boo said that's going to be admissible in court. Like you can't do that. He is really anxious because he really wants to do the deed. And he tells her I'm good with it, but then you know how they always pan to the character's face and the other person doesn't see their face, but we see their face and he's disgusted. And that's how I think he's going to end up with Eva. Because Kat and Chelsea are being sued, but the father, Bill, who is walking around with a cane, supposed to be not doing any work, but he slowly but surely is. He admits they don't really have a case. Don't worry about it. They're just trying to knock you off your game. Chelsea brings neurologist boo to go meet her family. And that really wasn't on her. That was Danny being overly anxious. Danny's whole hesitation is, I was in love with Bill all those years and he yanked to me. Nicole was in love with all these years and she got yanked. And even though she was being yanked. So you need to be vetted. Everyone was cool with it. Vernon, Mr. Dupree, who's the patriarch of the family, he's hesitant because he was like, he feels like Chelsea is rushing due to, even though she hasn't really voiced and acted out as a result of what Bill did, he feels like that's her way of coping with what Bill did with falling for this neurologist. I think they